Hey everybody, Tony D, and welcome to the Piney podcast. Little Jones in the other room sleeping, so I don't want to disturb her. For once, she's calm. So let's get into it. The beer virus in New Jersey, 313 new cases, 13 deaths, 10 were not from today. So really 3. Once again, playing with the numbers. A transmission rate of 1.04, slightly down, according to Murphy's wacky numbers. The state's 71 hospitals reported 414 patients as of Thursday night, the fewest since health officials began publicly tracking those numbers in early April. This also marks the 6th consecutive day hospitals have fewer than 500 patients with confirmed or suspected cases. Of the people hospitalized, 221 are beer virus positive, and the 193 are waiting test results. Now you're really jacking up the numbers. You only know that 221 actually have it. The rest are waiting test. They could all. It's likely they don't even have it. The way you jack up these numbers, it's ridiculous. Look at the hospitalizations. I mean, look, this virus is dying out. That's what it says to me. It's just dying out. It makes sense. Viruses spread. The more serious the virus, the less it spreads, the less lethal versions spread quicker because people are more mobile. But, you know, multiple New Jersey high school students contract beer virus after attending a shore party. And this is yet another concern of Phil Murphy's because this is but a dystopian version of Footloose, I guess. And this is what he's going to waste his time doing. Trying to stop teenagers from having a party. Like that's going to work. It's not going to work. Okay? They're going to attend parties. Deal with it. They're not going to die of the virus. Unless they have an underlying health condition, it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. Yes, they're all sick. So what? They'll all recover. 99.99% recovery rate for people this young and healthy. Stop trying to police the healthy, please. It's a 2-week incubation period, I keep saying. You're never going to stop this. In the meantime, teachers. 139 school districts want to have all remote start amid beer virus. Are you guys trying to put yourself out of a job? Because I could totally see the state saying, you know what? This homeschooling thing is saving us a fortune. Let's close down half the schools and make everybody sit in front of a laptop all day. Which, in my mind, might be good for the students because maybe they wouldn't get, indoctrinated by your friggin' politics, your left-leaning politics, which is what this is mostly about now. Oh, yeah, I've seen it. See, I worked in the school system for a little while as a substitute teacher, and they're not supposed to get political, but if you go into just about any teacher's lounge in New Jersey, you know what you see? Everything about the Democrats. When Christie was in, it was like, how can we get Christie out? Get organized. That's what every faculty lounge had in it. They're not supposed to do that, but nobody stops them. Anyhow, speaking of teachers, Esham teachers canceled demonstration after social media threats. I'm not sure what that threat's about. Doesn't really specify in the article, but you're protesting the school now. I mean, that you were having a protest at all is stupid. This is where we're at now. We're at the point at which teachers now protest the opening of school. I can only imagine what students think of that. They must think it's either awesome or like totally insane. I mean, I understand that some of you teachers probably have some underlying medical conditions. Maybe you're older or whatever. But those teachers can stay home. I mean, sure, you can make exceptions for medical people. But the vast majority of you are going to be fine. You're going to have the mask. Put the windows open. Air the place out. I mean, the students certainly aren't in much danger as long as they don't have underlying medical conditions. And they could stay home if they do. I mean, it's not that hard. Go back to work, please. Go back to work and stop panicking. Stop panicking. And Murphy, stop scaring everybody. This is really getting annoying. It's just totally annoying. I have nothing else to talk about in South Jersey. Except politics. Amy Kennedy endorses bipartisan restaurant act. Guess what? The government wants to give restaurants $120 billion to, I don't know, try to reopen the 30% of restaurants that closed in New Jersey, I guess. But it's really for the whole United States. Yeah, it's... but, you know, the weird thing about this article from Insider New Jersey, it's about Amy Kennedy, who's not in Congress. She's running against Van Drew, who switched over to Republican, but they seem to already treat her as if she's a de facto member of Congress already. I don't, you know, where is the Van Drew side of this? Oh, it's not here. It's funny. It's funny it's not there. It's funny you wouldn't go to Van Drew, the guy who's actually in Congress, and see if he supports it. But what are you going to do, right? I don't see Van Drew anywhere in this article. Amy Kennedy has stepped up and advocated for relief where we need to survive. No, she stepped up and advocated for $120 billion of our money to go to rando businesses, which I'm sure half will be corporate or half will be friends and politically connected. It's a joke. You can't bring these businesses back to life, Democrats. Learn economics. You can't just throw money at a problem. What are you going to learn? How many years do we have to go through oh, well, we threw money at the problem, therefore it went away. It doesn't work, okay? The 30% of restaurants who have shuttered their doors are screwed. If you knew anything about business, if you actually opened a business, for instance, you know that it takes more than a week, okay? You can't just reopen the restaurants and have people flooding in. It takes years to build up a business. You're killing businesses by keeping New Jersey closed now. God. Well, the Atilis Gym guys continue to stay in the news. God bless them for it. They're backing Meta for U.S. Senate. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. Meta. Kind of interesting name. Meta, like Meta Man from a gym. He's a GOP nominee. He's running against Cory Booker. I wish he was running against Bob Menendez. He's the guy we really got to get out. Oh boy, I want to see Menendez go. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Cory Booker go. But you know, Meta, a former U.S. Food and Drug Administration official, is challenging incumbent Cory Booker. I don't know. I don't know, man. Yeah, it'd be great to see Booker out, but a former U.S. Food and Drug Administration guy. I mean, he's a bureaucrat essentially. I don't know, man. That sounds like a career politician. But he's talking a good game. Our constitutional rights are sacred to all Americans, and elected officials who believe in the Bill of Rights are above their pay grade. Degrade the American dream, Meta said. We will continue to be a loud vocal voice for those who have been silenced and treated unfairly by overreaching politicians. All right. So good. Maybe he's good. He's standing with the guys of Atilis Gym. I mean, and speaking of standing with somebody, please stand with the Forked River Diner. They are challenging the ban on indoor dining. They opened and then got shut down and then opened again. They're violating the ban on purpose because they recognize, as do I, and sadly not most people in New Jersey, the governor's executive orders are not law. If he wants a law, he should pass it. He should get the legislature to pass it and sign it and say, you cannot open a business until I say. But he won't, because he knows that's unconstitutional too, and it would be challenged, and out it would go. And I don't think anybody in the legislature really wants to pass that kind of law. But instead, we're going to go through this rigmarole, and we're going to go through lawsuits. And again, these lawsuits will eventually be lost by the state and cost us, the taxpayers, money. But what does Phil Murphy care? He's a millionaire from Goldman Sachs with 3 mansions. Doesn't care. If you want to support the Forked River Diner, here it is, in Lacey Township. What is that near? It's kind of along Route 9. Yeah, no, it's right along Route 9. I sort of know this area. Is this, yeah, Forked River. Okay. Oyster Creek. Yeah. If you, it's south of Tom's River and north of Barnegat. Give you an idea. Kind of along the coast. I mean, basically along the coast. So a lot of boating goes on in this area. It's a little more high-end New Jersey shore life, if you will. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate these guys sticking their neck out to fight Tyrant Phil Murphy. And, you know, he's going to hopefully take Murphy to court and win. And you know, unfortunately, these guys got to do this stuff because Murphy's left them no choice. It's either crawl into a hole and die or fight. And that's what happens. So, you know, the government said that the owner, Brindisi, and people like him who are violating the executive orders are being selfish. No, they're not. First off, Murphy, stop ruling New Jersey like... you know, somebody being, what's the word I'm looking for? Passive aggressive. Stop ruling New Jersey like a passive aggressive grandmother is what I wanted to say, and I forgot passive aggressive. This is ruling by your feelings, not by the law. It's unconstitutional what you're doing. That's obvious by the law, I believe. You know, Democrats like to pull out their emotions and feelings to, you know, push things, whereas I think Republicans are more, you know, when they don't get caught up in religion, they're more reasoned, and you know, even the Democrats have abandoned science these days, so they're anti-science, they're anti-law, they're pretty much just for the rule of your feelings. If it feels good, do it, everybody. That's the way Democrats run things. I cannot wait for Murphy to get out of office. I mean, this is what we get for being ruled by a millionaire. A millionaire who's tone deaf, doesn't understand. Another guy who apparently doesn't understand economics, even though he made a ton of money. Doesn't really care, I think. I think he probably understands it, but he doesn't care. He's just grifting all our tax money. Hiring a bunch of contact tracers we don't need, and you know, this is the result. So strap in, South Jersey. It's gonna be another rough time, but if you get a chance, support the Fork Diner, Atilis Gym. At least somebody's standing up to this mope.